Hello, my fresh graduates. It's time for us to emerge. It's like when we are in school, we are learning things so that when we come out, we are going to work with it. You are learning to work, but before you start working, there are some things that you have to do. You have to get a good CV, and also you have to prepare yourself for the interview. So I want to welcome you once again to this emerge session, how you have to come out and project yourself and be on top, and you have to rule the world. As a child of God, we are to rule the world. So before we go into writing CV and preparing ourselves for the interview, I want to let you know that we are here. If you are in this room, if you are part of this presentation, then it means you are a child of God. And I believe you have all your three graces, because you really, really need it to come out, to emerge, and to rule the world. I want to give you some quotations that will help you. You see, as you go out looking for a job, you have to tell yourself that you are capable. As a child of God, we are on top of the world. We are supposed to rule the world. We are not supposed to be scared. We are not supposed to be timid. So let's look at Philippians chapter 4, verse 13. It said, I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me. So as a child of God, so far as you are a child of God with your three graces ready to rule the world, it means you can do all things. So with your CV, a very good CV, you are ready to face the interview. And I believe by the end of this session, you'll be bold to come out, to emerge into the world. Now, let's look at this other quotation, which motivates us as we set up into the world. Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth. And let's pay attention to the bolded part, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. You see, God has given you, he said, let's create man in our own image. You know our God. Our God is great. So if you want to be in the image of God, then it means in yourself you are also great. And God has also given you the power over everything in this world. So you should know that when you are going in for an interview, you are going to win, you are going to shine, and you are going to come on top as a child of God. There's no way a child of God should be timid in any way. Let's look at this other quotation. They said, and God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion. I love the word dominion. It means that you are reigning over the fish of the sea, over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. So you see the power that God has given you. He said what? You have power over everything that move upon this world. So even those who are going to interview you, you have power over them. All you need to know is to exercise a little bit of confidence, knowing who you are. I'm a child of God, and I believe my God is capable to make me emerge and rule my world. And then the last quotation to ginger us as we move into the main aspect of the program. Deuteronomy 28:13. And the Lord shall make thee the head and not the tail, and thou shalt be above only. You shall be above only, and thou shalt not be beneath. You see, as a child of God, you are the head. When they say you are head of something, it means you are on top. The head comes before the whole body. So you are on top. So God has made you the head and not the tail. The tail is below. We are not supposed to be low. You are supposed to be on top. So when you are coming out, when you are emerging into the world, just tell yourself that you are on top already. When you believe in yourself and you are determined to rule the world, you shall rule the world. So when you are coming out as fresh graduate, you finish school, luckily you'll be doing your national service. 1 year national service is to open you up into the working world. Sometimes when you go and you do well in your organization or whatever place you find yourself, they maintain you. So when you are going, you tell yourself that I want to do my service in a place that at the end of the service, I will be employed. As a child of God, know that you are the head and not the tail. So with all those quotations backing you, knowing that God has given you the power to rule over everything on this world, knowing that God has made you the head and not the tail, now is for you to prepare your CV. Your CV is like you are going to market yourself. You are going to sell yourself. The person who glance through your CV will know that this person is capable. This person is what I want. So what is CV? We have been saying CV, but the full name is curriculum vitae. That is the full name for CV. And you see, when you are looking for a job, you don't limit yourself in just one place. You seek job across the globe. I mean, when you get Ghana, you are here. When you get Nigeria, you have to move. When you get Canada, you go. You are ready. But know that wherever you go, there has to be the church that you can go and continue working for God. Don't just put your working in your head and forget about the God. Remember, God first in everything. So when you get the job, know that it is the job that will not take you away from serving God. Let it be at the back of your mind as you search for a job across the globe. Now, what is CV? And why do you need one? Ask yourself, why do I need a CV? Nowadays, that is what organizations look for. When you are looking for a job without CV, you can't get the job. Because the CV at a glance will tell them who you are, what you've learned, and what you've done. And if they see something that they want, then they will employ you. So you see, basically, it's what an employer reads before deciding whether to interview you for the job or not. So when you are writing your CV, make sure that you package it so well, easy to read documents, so that at the glance, the HR person will know that this is the person that I want for my job. And your CV too should tell everything about you. First of all, you have to make sure that your address, if they want to contact you for the job, where they will get you. You have to give them an easy reachable address. You have to give them a contact number. And so when you are looking for a job, don't put your telephone there and then you'll be somewhere, because the call can come anytime. Nowadays, they don't post letters. They don't even do email. It's just telephone. They can call you today and tell you to come for an interview the following day. So when you are fresh graduate and you want to work and you are looking for a job, you have to be ever ready. It's like you are watching and praying. It's like you are waiting for the rapture, always on guard. So you make sure that your phones are beside you, so that the moment the call comes, you can pick it and not lose out. Some employers, when they are looking for some people, they will not even call you twice, because they have a whole lot of people looking for the job. So when they call you and they don't get you, they move on to the next person. So please, when you are looking for a job, make sure that your phone is easy reachable. Or you can even give a number of a contact, a close person that you know that that person, anytime they call the person, they will reach the person, and then the person can get in touch with you, and then you'll be ready to move and meet your employers. So now, how do you design your CV? Make sure you choose a clear font. There are some fonts like comic. Even the word can tell you that it is comic. It's like when you are using it to do your own personal things. But CV writing is formal. So you have to use fonts like Arial, Calibri, Times New Roman. They are the ones that we use for formal documentation. And the font should be between 11 and 30. Normally we use 12, because 12 stand out, 11 is too small, 13 is too big. But in between 11 and 30, you can rely in the middle and choose 12. And make sure that the font is very clear. Make sure that your contact section is easy to see, because that is where they can use to reach you. There are some people, they don't give contact, so it's difficult to even send them mails. please make sure that at least your telephone or mobile number is there, your contact number is there. It's very important, because without it, how can they reach you? And make sure that at a glance, the HR person will know that this is the candidate I want to interview. Now you ask yourself, in CV, should I do tax or should I do achievement? You see, there are different ways. Sometimes we do CV to further our education. Maybe we are doing CV when we are going to do our masters. The school will require for CV. So when the CV is for education, make sure that your education will come even before your working experience. Please get those clear. Whatever that you are tackling, whatever that is your focus, make sure that you point it first before any other time. So when you are doing CV to further your education, maybe to go and do your masters, or you are going to do a doctorate degree, after you are done with your contacts, and then you give a personal statement. It's like executive summary of yourself, what you can do. I mean, something that is very catching. When they read it, they know that, yes. And for example, when you are applying for, let's say you want to be an HR person, make sure that your executive summary is talking about something related to HR. Don't go and talk about accounting just because that's what you know best. They are not looking for an accountant. They are looking for an HR person. So make sure that your personal statement is telling them about what you can do in HR. You get it? So it's very, very important the way you capture your CV. And when you are done with your personal statement, your key skills, things that you can do, you have to be computer literate, you have to be good in Excel. Excel, as you see the program Excel, it can do a good to know it even before you go to the job market. When you are done with your key skills, then next, make sure that you start with the working experience first before your education. Please get this clear. When you are writing CV to further your education, let the education count before the working experience. But when you are writing CV to look for a job, let your working experience count first. And they said, you are asking yourself, is it tax or achievement? They are all important. At least if you start as an HR officer, let them know what you did under HR officer. You were promoted to a senior HR officer. Let them know what you did as a senior HR officer. It's a little bit of the tax. Maybe they are looking for one particular tax. So the moment they see that tax, they will select your CV. And achievement, yes, you have. That is why the word is say what? Achievement. Nobody can achieve something. And you have been able to achieve something. So please, let it be there. Let it stand out clearly so that they know that this is what I have done. As an HR person, I was able to do job evaluation for my company. Not everybody can do job evaluation. So when they see it, they say, wow, let's employ this person. So that the person will come and do our job evaluation for us. So please, look for the advert. What they are looking for. Sometimes they will tell you the experiences that they want, the qualifications that they want. That alone should even help you. Sometimes if you have a CV already, you can even go and amend it and put in some of the things that they want. Maybe you don't even know, but put it there. And in between them doing the selection and calling you, you can go fast and learn for the interviews. Should you be called? Now, we are done with CV writing. Let's look at samples of CV writing. When you look at the first one, you can see that sometimes some people include their passport picture. It is not necessary. It depends on what the organization wants. But most of the time, we do it without our picture. When you are employed, when they call you for interview, they will know who you are. If you don't take care, you go and put picture, they will say you are not even nice, you are not even beautiful. Instead of them looking at what you can do, your picture itself can put them off. And also, you don't know where your CV will be going. Nowadays, in this global world, there's a lot of things they can do with pictures. They can even use your face for another person. So when you are doing CV with picture, you have to be very careful. Do it only when it is a requirement. If it is not a requirement, leave it out. So when you look at the samples we have you can see that the contact details is at the top. It is the main important thing, because when the HR person decides to employ you, where can he find you? Your contact will let them know how to get you, how to reach on to you. And like I said earlier on, you bring in your summary. I mean, what you can do. Then you highlight your key skills. The key skills are also important. They want to know that you have something extraordinary. So make sure that you capture your key skills too. Ability to work under pressure. Knowledge of labor laws. You see, things that are very catching. And please, if you don't know and you put it there, you have to learn before the interview time. And then when you are done with your key skills, normally when I sit in an interview, and the moment I see French in your CV, then I'll start asking you questions in French. And so far, those people that have tried it on, they did well. The moment I see French, because I know how to speak French, immediately I'll start asking you the question. I will just, and then you can see that there are other panel members. They will be happy. They see, now they will see somebody who can speak French. Now the interview is going on well. So please, if you don't know how to speak it and you put it there, it will go against you. So make sure that when it is there, then it means you can speak it. Then when you are done, normally we have references too are very important. Reference, give one or two references, and please make sure that you are choosing the person that can say good thing about you. If you know you have some grudges or with somebody, don't go and put the name there, oh please. If you use someone as your reference, and maybe in the course of your journey, something happened between the two of you, immediately take the person out. Human beings are human beings, you cannot tell. Make sure that you are putting somebody who can give you a good reference, because we go to them. Oh, Kofi Menu has applied as an HR officer, and he has chosen you as his reference. Please, how do you know Kofi Menu? Is he all that good? He said he can do this and that, can he? And then your reference person will say, oh, Kofi can do. But if you are not okay with that person, if you don't take care, the person will say one thing that will just take the job away from you. So please give good references. Normally, you can give one from the academics and then one from a place that you have worked before. Because the academic person can tell them about your qualification, how good you were when you were in school. And then the professional person will let them know when you were working with them, what you were able to do. So please, make sure that you give a very good reference. These are basically things that you have to need in your CV. Your contacts, the executive summary, your case skills, your experience, your education, languages. Sometimes you can include your hobbies, what you can do, traveling, reading. But like I said, all those things, look at the nature of the job that you are looking for before you say something. It's very, very important. Very, very important. And also, your email. There's something about email address that we have to really look into it. Loverboy32@gmail.com. You are going to look for a job and you are using Loverboy. kissmelady@gmail.com. Please, when you are looking for a job, it's formal. You are emerging into the world. After finishing school, fresh graduates, you have to do something that will be catching. So make sure that you change your CV, your email. If you are using that kind of slangs as your email, change it. Use your name. If you are Marilyn Araba Dennis, you can do ma.dennis or marilyn.dennis@gmail.com. Use your name. Use something nice. Don't go and use social media email. It also goes against you. So please be careful on that. And when you are looking for a job, please make sure that some of the employers, they go to your social media. They go to Facebook. They go to Twitter. They go to Instagram to go and see how you play there. So please, sometimes we take things for granted. We think, oh, I mean, we are moving with time. So when they are joking, we also joke. Please, please, thank God that we are children of God and we are not involved in Satans. If we are here and we are practicing Satans, we have to stop. Make sure that your social media speaks the way you are. Very humble, child of God, who love God, who ready to serve God, at the same time, ready to contribute to the secular world. Now, when you prepare your CV and it's good and you are selected, the next stage is interview. You'll be called for interview. And interview, there are so many ways. Me, sometimes I don't believe too much with interview, but it's like that's what is being done at the moment. But somebody will come, interview, the person will speak English, rattle all the words. You will employ the person and the delivery is out of the way the person presented himself or herself during the interview. So interview alone is not enough. That is why nowadays we've moved into behavioral interview. We don't normally go straight, what is this? No. We use behavioral. So as we give you the questions, the way you answer the question, then we are watching you. Your mannerism, the way you answer. Sometimes you can even bring some out of context questions. Oh, like, do you have a girlfriend? Then you think they are joking with you. Then I have two girlfriends. There was one person that came for an interview. He said, I have two girlfriends. He said, hey, how are you managing the two? So I don't know who to choose. So I want to look at it and see and study them. Then when I know the one that I want, then I will choose. Well, in some way, they will say, this person know how to weigh possibilities. When you come to the job and you have two decisions and you don't know what to do, with the skill of weighing his two girlfriends, you can also weigh this thing and know the best one to choose. In another sector, they will tell you that you are not serious. You are just playing with the girls. That is how you come to the job and play with the job. So you see, you still need the grace of God when you are going for an interview. That is why we started by giving you the quotations to let you know that God has already given you the power to rule your world. He has given you power to, everything that movement on this earth, every living thing is in your power. So you are not even supposed to be even afraid of the panel members. No. As a child of God, you know the God that you are serving. So you go into the interview room with boldness. So be confident. At the same time, make an impression. So that when you leave the room, you will be remembered. Because normally when the interview is done and you are gone, the panel members will start discussing. How did you find him? How did you find her? And they will all decide that, you are okay. So let's give you this mark. So when you are going for an interview too, please, our dressing too is very important. You dress well. You make sure that everything about you is nice, very neat, professionally. When you are a man, make sure that you wear suits. Most of the time when the men, they are going for interviews, they wear suits. Because suit makes you, it makes you come out like a professional person. It shows how serious you are ready for the job that you are being interviewed for. Women too, you try to wear suits. You have skirt suits. Make sure that you are not showing any curves. Sometimes you think that's the style. But like I said, there is a formal way of doing things. And then there is an informal way of doing things. When you go for an interview and you are showing part of your body, and there is one panel member who doesn't like that, he alone can write you off. Remember, everything will be marks 20, 10, 20, 10. Some people will give you good marks. But because that panel member will grade you low, it will affect your final grading. So make sure that your dressing, your haircut, everything is nice. You are not showing any naked parts. I believe God will be with you. There are some interviews that they don't only ask questions. They do aptitude tests. They do personality tests. Questions that they are going to ask you. To you, you think we are just answering the question. But at the end of the day, when they bring the result out, it will show whether you can do the job or you cannot. So please, whatever interview, I'm sure when they call you, they will let you know whether you are coming to do an aptitude test or you are coming for just a behavioral interview. They will let you know. Also, when you are going for interview, they will tell you that, Ghana Port and Harbors Authority, we are calling to invite you for an interview 9 o'clock. Then they will give you the direction. Make sure you take note of the place early. And when they give you 9, try as much as possible to be 1 hour or 2 hours earlier. Know where you are staying. If you are in a traffic area, do the calculation in such a way that you will reach there. You can't go and say traffic. There's nothing like, in fact, that's why we even, no matter how good you are, they will not even consider you. So if you know you are living at Kaswa and you have to struggle before you get to Accra, please leave the house early. The most important thing is you have to be there 1 hour or 2 hours before the interview. And like I said, as a child of God, when you are going for an interview, you commit it to the Lord in prayer. We forfeit a lot of things just because we don't pray, just because we know and we are too overconfident. We are proud of things. No, please, no matter how good you are, you need God. So please, humble yourself, pray. I remember a panel member shared a testimony. He said that there was this lady. The moment the lady entered the interview room, it's like the favor of God was upon her. I mean, all the panel members, immediately they fell in love with her. And the interview took another angle altogether. They didn't even ask anything concerning her. They were just chatting with her, laughing, joking. So even when she went and she was baffled. She wasn't even sure whether, because they didn't even ask anything concerning work. But at the end of the day, she was the one they called. That is how the Spirit works. So, beginning, God told you, He has made you what? The head and not the tail. I don't see the reason why, as a Christian, you go for an interview with a non-Christian, and a non-Christian will be chosen against you, whilst you are above and not beneath. They are beneath, but you are above. So, as a child of God, when you are going somewhere, just tell yourself that I am going to come out on top. I am going to be the number one. And then you tell God to help you, and God is going to help you. So how to answer interview questions? First of all, like I said, the organization, when they tell you that Ghana Port and Albos, they've given you the name of the organization, oh, please don't go to the interview without researching on the company. I keep telling my colleagues, nowadays things are so easy because there's Google. You just go there, type what you want, type the name of, just the name of the company, it will take you to their site. You go there, you have the board members, their vision. The most important thing is you have to know their vision and mission and core values. I mean, those are key. Don't go into an interview when you don't know the mission, or you want to work with us and you don't know our mission. You want to work with us and you don't know our vision. Please, people fell short in this area. So the moment you know of the organization, go and chew. If you cannot chew, just paraphrase it. Their mission, their vision. And then the core values. Try to understand the values. Because sometimes they will pick one of the values. They will say, oh, one of our values is teamwork. What do you understand by teamwork? And you have to answer with examples, with practical examples. Don't just go and give them the theory. This is not school. When you are doing interview for school, that's when you give them lectures. But when it is work, it is practical. So you give practical examples, and it will make sure that at least, if nothing at all, you know the mission, the vision, and core values of the organization. And whatever that you are applying for, if it is an HR person, go and learn what HR is. Make sure that when they ask you what you understand by human resource, you can say something. Know the functions and the human resource. Know what recruitment does. Know what training does. Know what welfare does. It will help you. After that, they want to ask you about general things. What is happening in Ghana? If nothing at all, know the name of your president. Know the name of the sector that you are applying for. Maybe you are applying for an oil and gas company. Make sure at least you know the energy minister, the name of the energy minister. Yes, it looks difficult, but with God, all things are possible. Why do some people fail interview? These are some of the things that we have to do. Like sometimes they arrive too late. Like I said, know your area, know the time that it will take you from your house to the interview location, and plan accordingly. Inappropriate dressing, uncultured manners, incomplete CVs. Up to now, in spite of the fact that when you go to the net, you will see a lot of CVs, a lot of templates. Yet, up to now, people don't know how to write CV. I don't know whether it is laziness or they are not ready to search. So if your CV is incomplete, we have gotten CV that there's no address, no number, no email, and you ask yourself, how are you going to be contacted? So please, like I said earlier on, there are some things that are very, very key and important. When they ask you the question and you don't know, please let them clarify it for you. I mean, there's nothing in asking for, say it again, or I did not hear. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. But don't be timid and let the chance go by. Lack of experience, poor work history. Sometimes some people go to interview and they lie. There was this interview that the gentleman came and the person was applying for an electrician. Then he gave somebody, so the person who taught him how to do electric. But he didn't know who call. When we call, we realized that even in those days, in the area that he was even mentioning, there was nothing like that. We do our research. We don't take your word for granted. We do our research. The HR people, we do our research. So your CV, whatever that you've written in it, we do. Sometimes when we select the CV, we do our background checks even before you come into the interview room. And make sure that whatever that you have written in your CV, you know it offhand. But first of all, we have CV questions before we move to other areas. So like I said earlier on, it is not good to lie. The moment you lie, you have spoiled everything. If you are not lucky, it will follow you because you don't know where you are going to meet that panel member. And immediately you will tell the rest. This lady came for an interview some time ago and I was part and he lied. It has really taken your mark away. So please, let truth reign. Take your first step. Now you've learned how to write your CV. You've been taught how to do interviews. Now go to the interview and get the job. Make sure you get employed. Why are you going for the interview in the first place? It's because you are looking for a job. Come out of the room knowing very well that you are the one that will be chosen. And I believe, like I said, we as children of God, we are to rule our world. And with God backing us, definitely, unless the job is not for us, if it is for us, God is going to make it possible for us to get the job. So we should know that with him, we can do all things. With God that strengthens us. Thank you.